Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have finally some paper money to look at. I've got some fun paper money errors, and this is what's known as a wet ink transfer or offset. And you'll notice here at the end of the note that we've got some green popping up. This green area is a wet ink transfer from the back of the note. So if you looked at the back of the note, you would see the exact same image, just in reverse of what this note is. I don't think we get to see the plate number, that 130. No, it's not quite far enough over for that. But these errors are not super rare and not super valuable, especially when it's very light. So these errors trade value based on 3 or 4 different things. One, the denomination matters a little bit because it's a lot more common on lower denominated notes or notes that are printed more frequently, actually. So like $1 bills and $20 bills. 2, the length of the error, right? So this is just over here, like covering whatever, 1/8 of the note. You can get it covering the entire note, and then it's a lot more valuable. And 3, the darkness of the offset. This is actually a fairly dark offset. I've seen them lighter to where it was just faint, but you can actually get it really dark. So when you get an entire overprint over the whole note, that's when they're the most valuable. So this note's maybe a $50 note, but you get a nicer one with a bigger offset. It could be hundreds of dollars. The next 2 notes I'm going to share with you have a similar error but slightly different. This is what's known as a third print shift. And so the way these notes were printed, they were actually printed in 3 runs. So the first thing they did is they printed the back of the note. So if you hear a currency collector or currency dealer talk about the first print error, second print error, third print error, the first print's the back of the note. The second print is the front of the note. The third print is the seal and the serial numbers. So that third print is what we're looking at here. So this is a third print shift. And these errors depend also a lot on, of course, the condition of the notes that they're on. The denomination matters a little bit also, and also how dramatic they are. So if you just had a bunch of US currency that you grabbed and went through, what you'd find is that the seal is never perfectly centered. You know, it'll be off just like 1/8 of an inch or less, one way or the other. That's not really an error. It should really be visible how once it gets beyond a certain point, you can tell it was enough of a shift to be an error. These notes are great because these both have shifts that are pretty dramatic. You got the serial number running all the way over into George Washington over here, which is really cool. And then if you can get either the seal into the portrait, that's even better. That's a real dramatic error. This note is not in great condition. It got circulated a lot. What's interesting is, even though it's fairly obvious that something's not quite right with the note, you can tell that it circulated a lot, so people didn't notice it. It wasn't dramatic enough to notice. I think that note's probably 50 or 60 bucks. This one's a little bit nicer condition. Maybe this is 75 to 100. And it's pretty dramatic. I think this one's easier to spot because on this note, the serial number and seal are in the right what would you say, latitude. But when it shifts down, it's easier to notice than when it shifts left or right. So anyway, pretty cool with the seal dropping all the way down here into the design. And it'd only be cooler if you had like a multiple error, if it was like a mismatched serial numbers or something funky, or a fold over, something like that. So anyway, thanks for watching. Let me know if you guys collect any of these type of errors, if you got something fun to share with the group. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can subscribe by clicking on the button in the corner and watch more videos on the right side of the screen. Thanks.